Welcome back to Timeout for Leadership. Thanks again for your investment in your own personal growth and your own leadership. As we get started today, I'm excited to share with you the release of my first ebook. It's called The Roadmap to Significance. If you've been a part of any of these Timeout for Leaderships, you've heard me talk about building roadmaps in our lives. Today, I want to talk to you about a specific aspect of that roadmap that's critical for our success. Roadmaps are all about helping us get from where we are to where we desire to be. And there's three critical elements of every successful roadmap. In fact, I want you to think about any road trips that you've ever taken to a new place, some place that you've never been before. You've MapQuested it, right? Or you've Wazed it. You've put your destination in there, the address, and you hit go, right? No, that's not how it works. It needs at least one more piece of information. It needs the current location or starting point. So for any good roadmap to be successful, there's three really critical elements. You need to know the destination, where you're headed. You need to understand your current reality, where you're starting from. And probably most important in the journey to success in reaching your destination is understanding and tapping into your motivation. You can have a great destination, a desire of where you want to go, and you can understand your current reality, take an honest assessment, but that doesn't mean you're going to arrive. You've got to be able to tap into your motivation because your motivation will determine your sustainability. In other words, motivation determines whether or not you're going to keep going towards your destination when things get difficult. Now, there's a couple types of motivation I want you to consider. There is the positive motivation and negative motivation. Let me ask you a question. Which one of those do you think is the most powerful? Positive motivation or negative motivation? Yeah, you're right, absolutely. Negative motivation is the most powerful motivation. A negative motivation is one that brings with it pain. Right? Positive motivations bring with it pleasure. We like those a lot more, but they don't necessarily get us moving quite as quickly as a negative motivation does. So negative motivations are extremely powerful to get our behinds up out of the seat and start acting or moving towards change, moving towards growth, moving towards our destination. But here's the problem with a negative motivation. It's not sustainable. How many of you want to live your life being driven by a negative or painful motivation? None of us. They're powerful to get us going, but they don't keep us going. The only way to sustain movement towards our destination is to tap into that powerful, positive motivation in our lives that elicits pleasure, that defines the joy, the fruit, the outcome of our efforts and our labors. Positive motivations are what allow us to sustain our movement even when things get difficult. And they're important that we understand those on our journey. Join me next week for Timeout for Leadership as we continue to define motivation and move from defining the type of motivation to identifying the source of motivation.